Hi guys, welcome to your 10-minute lower body workout. You can do this with or without weights. We're going to start with our squats. Make sure you've warmed up first. So feet outside your shoulders, point your toes out slightly. You're coming down into your squat and then lifting back up. So I say make sure you've done a little warm up before you start. If you don't want to use your weights, you don't have to. We're doing 10 exercises, 1 minute on each. There's no rest in between. So if you need a breather, just take one. So if these don't feel hard enough, you can add a little pulse. So you come down, pulse, and then back up. So it's down, little pulse, and then up. So with your squats, keep going with that one. Make sure you keep your chest lifted slightly. So we're not leaning forwards like this. You're getting your bum down. So imagine you're facing a wall and you don't want to headbutt it. So send your weight back into your heels and then squeeze your bum as you come back up. So check that your knees are going out slightly. We don't want them dropping in. They're going to track your toes. So add that little pulse at the bottom if you want it. Good job. So there's no rest in between these exercises. If you need one, just take one. Side lunges. So out to the side, back to the middle, and then across the other way. So keep your feet pointing forwards. Bend that outside knee. Make sure you keep your feet on the floor, so I don't want you lifting up like that. Keep it down. And then same principle here. So when you're doing your squats, keep going. We're not just leaning forwards, you're sitting your hips back and then coming back together. So we're essentially doing a squat, but with one leg straight. So if you don't want to use your weights, do it here and just go at your own pace. So remember, if you need a breather, just take one. If any exercises don't feel right for you, either sit them out or choose a different one. Your workout, not mine. So still using your weights here if you've got them. You can hold them by your side if you wanted to. Just make sure you keep your shoulder blades drawn together. Good job. We're going into calf raises next. So just keep bearing in mind this is only 10 minutes, so push yourselves. So feet underneath your hips this time. Lift up onto your toes and then lowering back down. So lift and lower. If you feel a bit wobbly, feel free to lean onto something. If you're holding your weights, keep your chest drawn back together. If you don't around here, keep your shoulder blades drawn back. If this is too easy, you can do the single leg versions. So maybe do 5 on one side and then switch over. And then do 5 on the other. So just be careful here. We don't want too much wobbling going on if you can help it. So again, lean on something if you need to. And again, you can do this with or without your weights. So lifting up onto your toes and down. So you're hopefully feeling your calf muscles working. So lift and lower. We've got some nasty lunges coming up next. So if you don't want to do these ones, remember just pick a different exercise or just take a little breather whenever you need it. Just go at your own pace. So you're always encouraged to work to your own level. Okay, take your weight into one hand if you've got one, or both hands if you've got two. Just on one side, step back into your lunge and then drive that knee forward. So step back, drop the knee down, step in and drive it forwards. If it's too much doing the knee lift, just step in here. And again, if you feel a little bit wobbly, feel free to just lean onto the wall or kitchen counter, whatever you're near. So back into that lunge, get the knee down and then drive it up. So thing to watch with your lunges, don't come in too narrow. So if you're going back here, you're going to wobble. So keep your feet so about hip width apart and then driving that knee up if you can. Don't tip over. So keep the pelvis level and drive up. So if you are doing the knee lift, you're hopefully going to feel your tummy muscles working. Keep an eye on this front knee. We don't want it dropping in or out. It's going to stay roughly on top of your ankle if you can. So driving up. Make sure you're staying on one side. We're going to do the other side next. So again, still holding your weight or weights. Switch sides to drop the back knee down. Drive it up and forwards again. Lean onto something if you need to, just for a little bit of balance. So if you can do this with your weights, then do. So dropping back into that lunge as deep as you can go, and then driving that knee up forwards. So another thing to watch for with your lunges, don't go so far back that you can't get a right angle out of that back knee. So you're trying to get those 2 right angles, and then driving up. So you can see if I come too close, I'm going to struggle to get down, so my knee's not going to go far enough, or my ankle's going to restrict it. So it's down, and drive it up. Good work. Should be burning by now, hopefully. So down and lift. We're halfway after this one. We've got another really brutal one, I apologise. Not really. Not for the apology. It is brutal. I don't apologise for it. So driving up. Okay, so holding your weights if you can. You're going to do a squat in the middle and a curtsy lunge behind. Back to your squat, curtsy lunge behind. So join in as soon as you're ready. So it's a squat in the middle, curtsy lunge behind. So again, hold your weights if you want to. You make this one harder by not coming up. So you stay down, press behind, stay low, and then the other way. Good job. So if this one's too much, just stand in the middle. So when you're doing your curtsy lunges, keep an eye on that knee again. So we don't want it folding out. It's going to stay roughly above your ankles. So really cross behind and bend that back knee as well. Get it down towards the floor. I'm missing the squat in the middle, aren't I? So squat in the middle, curtsy lunge behind. Oh, I can feel that one. So you're going to need some sort of weight for this next one. You can use resistance bands if you need to. I'll show you as soon as I've demonstrated the other one. So heaviest weights you've got, roll your shoulder blades back and down, feet underneath your hips. You're going to sit your hips back till you get that stretch and then come up. So you're trying to get that stretch in the back of your legs. So hips go back, squeeze to stand up. If you're using resistance bands, either one like this or the sort of flat ones, you're going to stand on it and do it here. So you hinge forwards and then squeeze to stand up. So keeping the back flat, shoulder blades drawn together. So we don't want any of this happening. Sit those hips back. So keep in mind, imagine you've got a line going down your body. You're trying to send your hips behind the line and then coming back up. So I'm not just leaning forwards. I'm sending the hips back and then squeezing to come up. Good job. So using your weights and being lazy. So hinging and then squeezing. Okay, hold your weight onto one side. Lean on something if you need to. You can lift the leg out to the side and then back in. So lift and lower. So here, we're not doing that. So it's just your lower body. So you're lifting out and back in. So again, lean on something if you need to. If you've got a resistance band that you can put around your legs, try it that way. So lift and lower. When we get to halfway, we're going to switch sides. So lift and lower. Switch sides. So again, lean on something if you need to. Our final two exercises are going to be down on the floor. So use your mats if you want to. Don't know why I'm pretending to lean on something. So lift and lower. So you should feel the outside of your glutes working here and this side as well. So we're not sticking this hip out. Keep it tucked in. Lifting and lowering. We're going into our glute bridges next. So bring yourself down onto the floor. Lay on your back. Bend your knees. Feet flat on the floor. So rest your weights on your hips if you're using them. You're going to lift and lower. So you're going to lift your hips, squeeze your bum, and then lower back down. You can do this one without the weights. You can do all of them without the weights. You can use your band across your hips if you wanted to, so you'd hold the band down as it crosses you, so you've got a bit of resistance. Again here, check your knees are not dropping in or out. If it feels like it's going to cramp, just walk your feet slightly further away and see if that helps. So you want to really feel your bum muscles working. So our final one option is just to stick with this one, because it is a little bit of a horrible one. So you can do it with your weights if you want to. I'm going to do it without for myself. So squeeze and lower. Okay, so this time you're going to squeeze and lift, walk the feet away, bring them back in, and then lower down. Let's go. So lift, keep the hips lifted as you walk your feet away. The further away you go, the harder this one is. Walk them back in, and then lower back down. So lift. Walk away, keep those hips lifted, bring it back in and lower down. So hopefully going to get your hamstrings here to the back of your thighs. So lift, walk away, so you can go all the way if you want to. Bring it back in and lower down. Keep going here. So really squeeze those bum cheeks to lift you up. Walking those feet out, making sure you're not rocking side to side. Walk it back in and lower it down. So keep going till it counts you down. This is your last exercise. Good work. Oh. Well done.
Well done.
Well done, guys. Let me just stop that before he goes on to the next one. So if you've done that one, if you want to do it again, go round again. Do it. Do another round. So if you have done it, leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. And I shall see you for my next workout.